Hi everyone, it's Thea here, just here to spill some more tea for you guys, and today it is about King Charles's coronation and how the entire country, well, most of the entire country of the United Kingdom is up in arms and upset, and basically it is a very controversial topic in the United Kingdom for a number of reasons, and we're going to get into that right now. So the reason why people are really upset and not happy with Prince Charles becoming the King of England and the United Kingdom, I believe, is because there is a lot of poverty happening in the United Kingdom at the moment. Now, I have a lot of friends and family in the United Kingdom, and also I have been reading a lot from what's going on basically in the United Kingdom. And guys, it is not good. So over across the pond, basically, our friends across the pond in the United Kingdom are very much struggling. So the average person is not able to pay for their heating bills. So they can't pay for their heating bills, and people were actually, during winter, this is crazy that I've heard this, and a lot of people have been saying that they've done this. And even if you look at influencers and other people across social media, people have actually had to be switching off their heating because they can't afford the heating bills, because the cost of heating has gone up exponentially in that country. And it's crazy because the whole of Europe have had rises in things because of the war in Ukraine. But unfortunately, the United Kingdom, for some reason, has been hit the hardest, and they have been struggling with things like heating, and rent has gone up so much, and people are actually moving out the country because they can't afford to live there. The cost of food has gone up so much, and in recent weeks, the cost of basically just going to the grocery store has gone up so much. Bread, and I think that's because of the wheat crisis that's going on, because most of the wheat for Europe is made in Ukraine, and now that wheat production is no longer happening in Ukraine because of the war. So yeah, people are feeling it that way too. So bread and pasta and things like that, the price has gone up like crazy, and so has the cost of things like tomatoes and things like that for some reason. And the UK government is not really helping the situation by pouring a lot of money into the coronation of King Charles. And there has been millions and millions spent on this coronation, and that is why the average Joe in Britain, in the United Kingdom, has been extremely upset about the coronation, because they can't afford to live. Meanwhile, all the taxpayers' money is being spent lavishly and without their consent on the coronation of King Charles. It's so out of touch with what is going on in the country. The rich are getting richer and lavishly showing off their wealth, and the poor are getting poorer. Basically, it's like olden times, like old, when there were like peasants and kings, and people were literally living on the streets. And that is what's happening, because the homeless population in the United Kingdom has also gone up because of this living crisis. They're calling it the cost of living crisis, and it has got so bad. I also know a few of my friends who used to work in the United Kingdom, and like recently last year, they all basically all of them decided, all apart from two, decided to move back because they could not afford to live in the United Kingdom anymore, because they also told me that salaries are not increasing. Now, salaries for any job, basically, everyone's salaries have been frozen in the United Kingdom for some reason, because the bosses are getting paid their bonuses, but the people who are working for the bosses, the employees, are not. So even if you're working in a large corporation, your salary is going to be fixed. And if the cost of living is going up and the salaries are remaining the same, it means that you're struggling to pay for basics like accommodation, like you can't pay your rent, you can't pay your mortgage, and you can't pay for essential things like heating. And I'm sure there's going to be a problem in the summer when it comes to paying for air conditioning and fans and stuff like that. People won't be able to afford it, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to die in the heat, because I know England gets heat waves in summer and it's pretty unbearable. I have visited the United Kingdom in summer, and there's not a lot of places at all that have air conditioning, which is crazy. If you're having hot, blistering summers, then maybe more buildings should invest in air conditioning. It's wild. Anyway, I'm digressing. So people are up in arms about this situation because they feel like the government is doing nothing for them, but yet they are pouring all this taxpayer money into King Charles's coronation, and it is so out of touch with what is going on in the British community, in Britain, in the whole of the country. So people are really upset, and nobody wants to have this celebration apart from like a few royalists, you know, people who are like head over heels and basically have a boner for the royals, you know, royal followers, and, you know, people who just like have like obsessions with the royal family. Everyone else is pretty like over the royals in the United Kingdom because they seem to be like sucking out all the money from taxpayers. And did you know that people who pay taxes, I mean everyone pays taxes, but taxes, a percentage of the taxes go to the royals. So they do nothing apart from, you know, go to their royal engagements and, you know, go to the royal events and things like that, and just basically prance around everywhere, and they get paid by the taxpayers who are working every day, regular people who are working every day, working really hard to pay for their family, to pay for their education, to pay for just the basics of life, the necessities of life, and they are not getting it because King Charles and his entire royal family are sucking it all up, and also the British government. So I want to hear everyone's thoughts about this entire situation. Just remember, everything that I've said and heard is alleged, and it's just from what I know, the information that I know, that I believe to know. And I want to know your thoughts on this situation. Do you think that King Charles's coronation should be so controversial? Do you feel like the British public are right to be upset about this entire situation, as their, you know, taxpayer money is going towards, their hard-earned money is going towards the coronation of King Charles, and he could have just done something low-key and, you know, been coronated like that and not wasted a lot of the taxpayers' money. But, you know, they have to do everything like they're better than everyone else, so, because they have apparently, air quotes, royal blood. I mean, everyone on this planet is exactly the same. We all bleed when we're, you know, poked with something. We all cry, we all laugh. But yeah, I just want to know your thoughts and opinions. Or do you think that people are going overboard and everyone should be happy for the king being coronated and they should have a huge party and celebrate no matter what the cost? I want to know your thoughts on this particular situation. And if you have any other topics you guys want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. And you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and on there you can let me know if you have any tea you want me to spill. Just remember, everything that I've said and heard is alleged. Like, share, comment, and I will be back with more. Subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos tomorrow.